It's a Tuesday night, Tuesday the 8th of June 2021. A very good evening to you, and welcome to tonight's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. Now, I have to tell you, gang, there's a little bit of an internet issue this evening. My upload speed keeps dropping from like 20 meg to 1 meg, and I'm not quite sure what's causing that. I don't think there's anything here, to be honest. I've reset the router, done all the usual things. I have got 4G. I've got a... They used to call it tethering, didn't they? Used to call it tethering. I'm hotspotting to the... I see. I can see that going off now. I can see that going off and on. I can go over 4G. I can hotspot to my phone, and I think we might be better to do that because this is up and down like a yo-yo tonight. Very unusual, as you know, for the Virgin Media thing to go down. I could switch over to 4G now. I'm going to do that. Stay there. I'm going to switch over to 4G down here. And let's see if that helps at all. 1 moment, please, dears. Here we are. Let's unplug like that. Okay. There we are. Oh. Good. We'll see if that gets going. That may or may not work better. I'm not quite sure. We might have to abandon earlier. We will carry on like mummies, brave little soldiers, and see what happens. Let me just write something down. 2572. 2572. Okay, I'll keep an eye on those numbers. I've got some numbers in front of me, and if they start going up, it tells me that you've been disconnected. I've got a green light and a red light. Green light's on there, so I'm actually coming over to 4G now, tethering to the phone. But the 4G where I am here is not as good as when I'm up in Lincolnshire because I don't have the external aerial. Literally, we're Wi-Fi into a mobile phone, which is propped up against the window in the bedroom. It's all very technical here, dear. Very technical here, and we'll see how it goes. All right, my loves. What a beautiful day. What an absolutely beautiful day it's been. I had a trip down to London to have some blood sucked out of my arm by the vampire. I did put it under a microscope, and I'll pop that there, back down there next week and see how that goes. But an absolutely lovely drive down there. Really nice. And for the first time this year, air conditioning on in the car. Not for long. I don't like to have it out for very, very long because where I go to, it's usually all right going there. Coming back, I get caught up in traffic on the Hanger Lane gyratory system, and you can be there for 10 minutes. And that's where you want your windows closed because it stinks there of pollution. Oh, it's awful. It bleeding stinks of pollution when you're down there. So I close all the windows and just turn the air conditioning on. I don't know, for about 10 to 15 minutes while I was sitting in this traffic. And once you're through it, that's it. But it always queues up on this blooming roundabout. It's most annoying. If you're in a chat box at all, I'm not in the chat box. Okay, just send us a text if you want to get me a message. 07451 287 337, or you can send an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and that message will get to me. All right. Once again, if you want to send me a message rather than talk to everyone else, you need please to send a text 07451 287 337, or you can email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. So as I say, we're coming over to 4G today. We'll see how that goes, and if it's all right, we'll carry on. If not, we will abandon ship. But never mind. First of all today, do you think you could take on one of these and win? Evil creatures. Evil. That's worse than an Alsatian, isn't it? I wonder if they're as fast as Alsatians. They do seem to, for the size of them, for the size of these things, they do seem to be pretty agile, don't they? You know. Can we outrun a crocodile? And what's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? Is one bigger than the other? I don't know. Are their eyes closer together? It's in the eyes. It's in the eyes. Look in the eyes. Don't look around the eyes. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Look into the eyes. Yes. Which is it? That's the question. No, we're still having issues now over the 4G as well, aren't we? Let's give it 10 minutes and see what happens. Yes, I don't know how much... I think you heard most of that, didn't you? There we are. That's the crocodile. Evilness. Evilness could be perpetrated among each and every one of us, gang. That's the crocodile. Can they outrun us? That's the question. No. That's on and off like anyone's business, that damn internet, isn't it? 1 minute it's red, then it's yellow, then it's green. I think it might be a whole internet thing. Oh, let's have a look here. Down there, let's just plug this back in there. Plug that back in there. Oh dear. This isn't going to work. I don't think this is going to work tonight, is it? What a blooming shame. So much preparation for so little to do. What are we on there? It's no use texting me and saying, oh, the internet's... I know already. Are you going to hold up or not? I don't think it's going to hold up tonight. Let's go back to this story then. Yes, the crocodile I showed you a moment ago. Evil creatures. Do you reckon you could win in a fight? Well, I don't know how quickly these little creatures can run along the road after you. I mean, maybe if you had one of those very annoying electric scooters that all the dealers or their runners seem to be using around here to deliver various bits and pieces to people, that may outrun one of those, because they can certainly outrun me, or the police. Anyway, I asked you the question because there's a story in the Daily Mail today. Now, you've got to be pretty brave to do this, I reckon. Pretty brave to do this. A British woman is fighting for her life in hospital in Mexico. Ida. British woman is fighting for her life in hospital in Mexico after being rescued from the jaws of a crocodile. I mean, I don't mind being bitten on the back of the neck, but I think a crocodile is taking a biscuit, isn't it? The jaws of a crocodile by her identical twin sister. Have you got a twin? Have you got a twin? Would she or he jump in and save you and fight off a crocodile? Because this one did. This lady was swimming in a lagoon at night. Well, you're asking for trouble, isn't it? That's when these crocodiles come out, late at night. Ah. Nope. Do. Just a moment. I'm going to ring my neighbour. Hello, Dave. All right, mate. Are you on Virgin Media? Hello, Dave. Are you on Virgin Media? Are you having any trouble with the sort of upload speed tonight, or wouldn't you know that? I just keep getting cut off tonight. Hello. There we are. Back again. We are struggling to see. We are struggling. Let me see. Let's stick that back up there. Right. Well, let's have a look there. I might try flicking back over to 4G again. Well, see how that goes. All right. Right, well, we'll see that. We'll see how that goes now. I've done something else. We'll see if that works or not. Fingers crossed. We're having a bit of issues with the internet this evening, gang. Okay, it keeps going and coming, but I've done something else now to the computer. And I reset the modem earlier on. I've just spoken to my neighbour. He said he was having trouble earlier on and he reset his modem and that all came on all right. So fingers crossed. Now, shall we start again, dear? Shall we start again? Hello. Good evening. I don't know how much you heard. We're talking about this crocodile, weren't we? Here's the picture of the crocodile, okay? And we were wondering if you could actually outrun a crocodile. Has anyone run away from a crocodile? That reminds me of that programme with Mike Reed. Do you remember the kids' programmes? Like they had these 3 numbers up, didn't they, at the end of in the studio. And all these kids were there. It was a kids' programme. And a wheel would go round or something, and it would land on a number, and all the kids had to run to this number, and Mike Reed would go, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. Do you remember that? Run around on ITV years ago. Oh, you know the programme. It was good. It was good. But could you run away from a crocodile? And if so, have you got a twin that could fight off the crocodile? I ask you this because there's a story in the Daily Mail today. A British woman is fighting for her life in Mexico. Who's been to Mexico? That's that little man with a hat on. Isn't it a mouse or something like that? Hungry, hungry, Eva. That one. Is that allowed now? Oh, that's really offensive to Mexicans. Oh, shut up, millennials. No millennials on this channel except for Mark Bowles. This lady was swimming in a lagoon at night. Have you ever swum in a lagoon at night? Perhaps someone would like to take me to somewhere where we could go. Naked swimming in a lagoon at night. I think I might have to lose a little bit of weight first. She was swimming with her twin, Georgia, 10 miles from Puerto Escondido. I think it's Dido. Yes, Dido. A surfing resort popular with British holidaymakers when the beast struck and dragged her beneath the water. Don't take long to drown, does it? Seconds, if you believe the films that we see. You don't want to end up drowned. When they fish you out, you're all bloated, even more than I am now. In the chaos, Georgia called out for her sister and dived under the water to search for her when she didn't reply. Anyway, as she cradled her sister in her arms like a baby, rock-a-bye baby on the... I do that. You know, great nephew Harry, who's 8 now, he likes that. He's 8 years old. So, baby Harry, are you baby Harry? And he comes over. I say, are you baby Harry? And he gets in my arms like a bleeding great big lump. It's 8 years old. Not like 1 year old. 8 years old. And he comes in here and I go, rock. I can't lift him. He's like on me like, rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the wind blows. And he goes, no, don't do it. The cradle will. Don't. Fall. And I push him off onto the floor. He loves it. Then he comes back for a second one. Anyway, as she cradled her sister in her arms and swam to the boat, the crocodile attacked the woman again as Georgia fought it off, punching the predator. Punching the predator. Can you do punch? Is Mark Bowles not? Is Mark with us tonight? I think Mark might be with us tonight. Punching. Can you do punching, Mark? Can you? Punching the predator until it let go. The sister's mother-in-law, Sue from Sandhurst in Berkshire, just down the road. They got an army place there. I wouldn't dream of hanging around there with a pair of binoculars watching the boys. Not a word of it, dear. The sister's mother from Sandhurst in Berkshire said both women had terrible bite injuries when Melissa came close to drowning. And what a frightening experience. But you must know, don't you instinctively know that there might be, I expect, a lagoon, isn't that surrounded by trees and things? You must know that crocodiles are likely to live there. I mean, if I went back to Australia, I would kind of know where the crocodiles are likely to be. You know what I mean? It's unlikely they're going to be near your swimming pool, but that has happened as well in Florida. I've seen that before. People wake up in the morning and they go, look out their window, there's a bleeding great big crocodile in the swimming pool. Speaking to the Mail Online, both sisters were rushed to hospital where Melissa remains in a coma. Very serious. She's alive, but we don't know if the injuries are life-threatening or not. She has water on her lungs. Well, I think she would do after being dragged in like that. And she's been coughing up blood, so we don't know if she's punctured a lung or not. How do they do that? You know, if you're like drowning and then you rescue. I mean, some people commit suicide, don't, or they try, and then they change their minds. But when they pull them out, I suppose they're full of water, or they're rescued and they're like, you know, they look dead. And if the films are not always to be believed how they do it on films, but you've seen them drag them out of the sea and things like that in like films, and they pull them onto the shore and then they turn them over onto the side and start doing things to them. And sort of water pours out. It's a bit like that, isn't it? Is that how it actually happens, or is it once you're drowned, you're dead and that's it? You know, strange, isn't it? She's been put into a medically induced coma. But do you think you could fight off one of those boys and girls? You know, that's what I need. I need someone in my life that can fight off one of those properly. Huh? What do you reckon? Let me know. You can text in the show if you're in the chat box. I'm not in the chat box. You need to send us a text message or an email. My text number is 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337. There is some internet issues at the moment this evening, which at the moment seem to be resolved, but we'll see how that goes, all right? Oh, there he is. Mark Bowles is there. Mark Bowles is in the house. There he is at the bottom there. I just saw that flash red. Just as I said, the internet, I think, is all right tonight. It went wrong again. I saw the red light come on again. Oh, dear. How disappointing. Anyway, Mark Bowles is there. Good evening. He's not working this evening. Good evening, Mark. We must, every time Mark polls up, we must show a picture of the delightful real man himself there, my darling. You know, not camp in any way, shape or form. Not even when he's got a blue or green Mohican. Thank you, Mark. Hello to Ollie K. Good evening, Ollie. Evening, Ollie. Excellent. I thought I'd get in nice and early. Thank you for the few bits you sent through the post. It was a nice surprise when I got home from a tough day at school. Why has your day been tough at school? Have you got a problem with one of the teachers? Give me their names. Give me their names. I'll ring up the school tomorrow and have a word. I'm not having my little mate Ollie having trouble at school. Huh? You got trouble with one of the teachers? Now, let me guess. Got to be the maths one. They're usually quite evil. The maths teachers. You teach you all this stuff that you don't really need. Trigonometry, algebra, all that stuff. When have you used that? Huh? Come on, answer me that. When have I ever used... Ask your dad. When has he used trigonometry or protractors or algebra in his line of work, or whatever he's done ever in his life since he left school? His answer will probably be never. It's like the PE teacher, right? Okay, swimming, yeah, okay. Bit of running, yeah, okay. But how many of you, since you left school, have jumped over one of those very annoying horses that are in the school gymnasium? I hate them. Absolutely hate them. Let me know, Ollie. Good evening to Rachel Wheatland. Good evening, Rachel. Very good evening to John Parrish. He's got a little bit of a problem with his internet as well today. It's been on the news, so it's probably a general thing over the whole thing. We'll carry on and try there, all right? Unfortunately, he fouled with the laptop. Oh, really? Need to find a man, maybe a new one on Sherry. Yeah. Well, you tried, you know. It's like the laptop I had trouble with. I tried to fix it, couldn't fix it. But, you know, in a way, I was pleased that I took it down the shop and they couldn't do it either. They said it needed a new motherboard, not worth fixing. So I'm kind of quite pleased that they couldn't fix it either, which means I'm not quite as thick as I thought. I'm not too bad with computers, actually. It's just other maintenance issues that I can't do. Thank you, John. Good evening, Diane Jebb. Good evening to Gary Ross. Evening, Gary. Evening, Gary. Hello to Sherry. I'm praying that your internet won't be disconnected. It would be boring without your show. Thank you, Sherry. I think it's kind of on and off a bit. It's kind of on and off a bit, the internet tonight. I do know when it goes off because a red light flashes straight in front of me. All right? So I kind of stop what I'm saying there. And when the green one comes on, I wait a little while and I try and pick up from where I stopped. But we'll see what happens. Evening to Maureen. Good evening, Maureen. She had a little request. Penny Arcade on the radio show this morning. Devastating news. No radio show tomorrow, okay? No radio show tomorrow. Got a little funeral to go to in Roehampton, my old church, actually, where I been playing the organ for a while. Not last year, but hoping to be back there at some point. You never know. All right. Good evening to Fran Green. Good evening, Fran. Hello to Amelia Phillips. She had a mini operation last night in her arm. Oh, you poor thing. Poor thing. A mini operation. Well, if it's too painful, just chop it off. I mean, how many arms do you want? You got two? One's enough, isn't it? Why do we need two arms, dear? Good luck with that, Amelia. Hello to Jeff. Hello, Jeff. He went to Cancun in 2011. The drug dealers used to stash the drugs on the islands of the lagoon because they knew the alligators would scare off people. Is that right? They don't care, do they? Well, aren't they afraid of the alligators? You want Crocodile Dundee. That's quite good, Crocodile Dundee, isn't it? And good evening to George Bond as well, messaging then. Hello to Danny Woodhouse. Good evening to Danny Woodhouse. I can hear noises. What's going on there? It's very strange things going in on here in the Mirable Studios this evening, gang. All right. Okie doke. What else have we got on our little programme tonight? I've just closed down something. Where's my little list of things to talk about? There it is. Should we open the phone line? Yeah, we can open the phone line early. There we go. Just a second. That should be all right now. If you want to call in tonight, I'll do it early because we don't know how long we're going to be here. 0208 144 3477 if you'd like to call in. Do you think you could fight off a crocodile? You know, I'd be particularly interested if you can. Can you fight off a crocodile? That's the question. 0208 144 3477. Or what about car accidents? Have you had a car accident? I've had a few. I've had a few in my time. What was the first one I ever had? I hadn't been driving long. A lot of people have accidents when they first pass their test. And this would have been 1980, 84, I suppose. 85, something like that. And I was going down Putney High Street in my Triumph TC. I had a Triumph TC. That was my first ever car. I was going along there, and there was this great big articulated McDonald's lorry on the side of the road. Now, it's not a wide road, Putney High Street. So when a McDonald's lorry is parked there, that's half the road gone. So you've got to wait for the traffic coming the other way to stop. All right. So it did stop, and I went round this McDonald's lorry, which was pointing my way, but on the wrong side of the road, if you see what I mean. So I've gone round this lorry, and I've gone in behind it. Unbeknown to me, the forklift thing at the back of it was kind of half up like that. And I pulled in behind it. I've gone straight underneath this forklift thing and scratched all the roof of my car. That was my first accident. My first accident. Other accidents I've had one on ice, which means I'm always terrified now if it's snowing or icy on the road. It bothers me. I'm not confident on ice at all now. I was coming up at the beginning of the M3 actually, and there's a turn, and it had been snowing. There's a turn like that. I'm literally doing 25 mile an hour, on a 50 mile an hour road. Coming up slowly. I'm on the inside lane. Again, this is 25 years ago. It's funny how you remember these things, I suppose you remember things that frighten you, don't they? I'm coming around this corner. Cars are shooting past me, in the fast lane. I thought, what? Foolish people. And as I've gone to turn, nope, it's decided not to turn. It's just carrying on in a straight line. I hit the barrier. As I say, only about 25 mile an hour, but because it's all icy, and I slid right across to the other side of the road and pointed the other way. Now, fortunately, there didn't seem to be, well, there wasn't anything else coming the other way at the time. So I was able to get out of it, and I managed to, not out of the car, but I managed to move the car. It was an old clapped out BMW, it was. Black thing. All the seats were like the material had worn off. It was quite old. But do you know what? It was the most comfortable car I've ever had, that car. Absolutely. Managed to get back across to the other side and then carefully went on the way home. And then a couple of years later, did almost exactly the same thing in a Sierra, except this time I didn't end up so far on the other side again of going in the same place, going up this blooming thing, and you go round the corner very slow because I'd already had the one accident a few years before that, and it just went round again. Didn't quite end up facing the other way. What about you? You ever had any car accidents or anything like that you want to tell me about? 0208 144 3477 is my local London number, okay? Near accidents? Well, yeah, near accidents. Again, similar thing, house stones. Literally coming up my road here, it's quite steep, so it had been house stoning. Is that how you say? It had been house stoning. That could be a new word. House stoning. So I'm going up this thing, right? Going up this thing. Got to the top, turn left. When you go left, you go down. There was all these house stones on the road, and I'm going down really slowly, and then the cars were stopped in front of me, a little bit of a queue there. I put my brake on, just carried on sliding forward. I thought, oh no, this car here is getting closer and closer like that. I quickly looked, and I was going that slow, and I thought, well, there's a curb there. I'll drive towards the curb and hopefully that'll stop. And it did. It stopped me. The fact that the curb was there is what stopped me. Otherwise, I would have ended up into the back of the other car, you know. Terrible, really. What about you? You had any accidents like that? Good evening to Andy. Andy, good evening, Andy. Just booked my 1940s weekend in July. I go every year apart from last year due to COVID. Have you heard of the D-Day Darlings? They perform a really nice day out. Yes. Yes, Andy. Actually, I went not last year, the year before. They do exactly the same thing in Woodhall Spa every year. It didn't happen last year, and they've cancelled this year as well. It's not happening this year. So I'd be interested to know where yours is. Maybe they didn't cancel them all. A fantastic Saturday and Sunday. What are these 1940s weekends, you may be wondering, gang? Well, actually, I've got a video up there somewhere. Somewhere on YouTube, there is a video that we did from all those couple of years ago, and they have all the old vehicles out. No, people dressed in uniforms. They have little shows. This is in Woodhall Spa. I'm only talking about Woodhall Spa because it's like a long straight road. They have hotels either side. They have shows like 1940s style shows going on outside these hotels. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. People selling hot dogs, that sort of thing. You got people who have restored old-fashioned wartime motorbikes and Land Rovers, nurses dressed in the old style costume. It's a really fantastic weekend, the 1940s weekend. As I say, it's usually in... Actually, it's June, isn't it? So it would have been now. 1940s weekend. Let's have a look. Woodhall Spa. Let's see what it says about that one. Oh, well, it says... No, not this year. It's not going to happen this year. So it didn't happen last year, and it didn't happen this year. That's very sad. Where is your one, then? Where are you having your one, as a matter of interest, Andy? Where are you having your one? Anywhere exciting like that? Do let us know. 0208 144 3477, my local London number tonight. I had my eye test yesterday, gang. That's a slightly different experience, I must say. You know where you read the letters, like E, HW for, and so, you know, little letters. Used to be on the wall. That's on a computer screen now. It's on a little computer screen, and you're not that far away from it. But they've obviously got some sort of software in this computer, little computer thing that they got on the side there, which make the letters look further away. Very clever. Very clever. And they did the old puff eye test, which I was talking about yesterday morning on the radio. That puff eye test. When you put, you know, you look at this thing like that, and you're like, there you go. Puff, puff. I hate that. I hate that so much. But I don't think they did. Or maybe they were just using different equipment. Again, there's, you know, when they used to put these glasses on, didn't they? I went to Specsavers, put glasses on like that. And they used to change all the lenses. Well, that seems to happen on sort of a large machine now. And she pushes a button and, you know, is that number 1 or number 2? Number 1. Number 1 or number 2? Number 1. Number 1 or number 2? Number 2. And all that business. And so I suppose it was in there about 20 minutes. Ever so nice in there, really. Specsavers in Bracknell. And ended up with a little you know, you see, these are not prescription glasses. I got these off Amazon, 4 for £10. But they kind of do the job. They magnify a thing. And I was telling her, she said, do you use glasses at all? I said, well, actually, you know, I've just got the cheap ones that you get off the internet. You can also get them in Boots the Chemist. I know Waitrose do them. And you literally, they've got like a stack of glasses there, and you try them on until you find the ones that fit you, the ones that work for you. And these are mine, which I think are about 1.5. Now, she says, the lady, you know, she said, well, they're okay. She said, but all they're doing really is magnifying stuff. They're not correcting exactly what's wrong with your eyes. So she gave me a prescription, which I've got here. right prism and left prism. It's got all these numbers on it, you know, 0.0, minus 1.5, 160, 1.75. And that's all well and good. Anyway, so I went on the internet. Because I know people that order their glasses on the internet, right? And I found a few glass places. And I'm putting in this thing. And then it says pupil gap or something like that. Pupil gap. Okay? So I'm looking on my thing here. There's no mention at all about pupil gap. And somehow, I don't know if I've got one here, have I? Usually I've got a bit of a ruler here or something. No, I haven't got a ruler here. And this thing on the internet, it's saying, you know, you put a ruler in between and you've got to measure the distance between your pupils. Oh, Christ, I thought, well, I'll go on the Specsavers. These glasses were £5. £5 for a pair of glasses, prescription glasses, off the internet. I don't know how good they are. Has anyone used those at all? Do any of you order glasses? You know, you get your prescription thing from the thing and then order them? I know some people, my very good friend Ray Reynolds, he's got glasses. They cost him 300 quid. 300 quid for a pair of bleating glasses. Jeez. I was talking to my sister about it on the phone the other night. She said, well, that was it her? No, it was my mate. I was talking to him. I said, I haven't got £200 at the moment to spend on a pair of bleating glasses. And he said, no, that's only for the designer frames. You designer for, don't bother me who makes the bleeding frames. I can care less. Just want a pair of lenses. That's all I want, you know. Perhaps you could get the 2 bits of glass and just tape them to my head. What would that look like? You know, they just send you these 2 bits of glasses, bit of tape there. You could use a bit of packing tape, couldn't you? Something like that, you know. You know, get your bit of glass and then just put a little bit of tape at the top there, a little bit of tape at the bottom. Do the same on the other side. Hello, cheap glasses. That's all we need, isn't it? And he said they're much cheaper than that. Anyway, after looking on the internet for the cheap glasses, I then went back on Specsavers and I discovered you can get glasses for £29 from Specsavers. So I then typing in my information. I'll just get them from Specsavers, £29. That's all right. And then once again, that question came up: pupil gap. The gap between your pupils. Why don't they put that on here then? Why couldn't they have put that on here? She must have known what it was at the time. And then it said, I need a magnetic card. Get a magnetic card and place it there. And I thought, I can't be bothered with this. So no, I haven't ordered any yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to order prescription glasses off the internet for like, I don't know, 25 quid. I don't mind spending 25 quid. I'm not spending more than £100 on a pair of glasses. What for? I mean, what is the difference between these frames? They look all right to me. It's not, you know, not like we got to attract anyone, is it? I mean, Mark Bowles is already desperately in love with me. I don't need to do anything more to myself to attract him anymore, do I? And that was my day at the opticians. As I say, lovely people in there, always very nice, and I always feel quite valued when I go in there. You know? And what else did I do yesterday? Went to Marks and Spencer's. And I was also trying to find the inserts for a couple of hanging baskets I've got downstairs, because the magpies have stolen all the stuff around. I mean, I've got 3 up now, which they seem to have left alone now. But from the other 2 hanging baskets, they stole all the stuff that goes around the outside for the bleeding nests. So I've been trying to get us, and I went to Sainsbury's home base, I went to the range, I went to the pound shop, and I went somewhere else, and they're all sold out. No, Wicks, no one has got these inserts for the hanging baskets. They sell you the whole thing, but I don't need the whole thing. All I want is that like cardboardy, I don't know what it is. Is it coconut? It might be coconut, made out of coconut things, is it? I don't know what it's made out of. And that goes in the basket, and then you fill it with earth and put your little plants. The plants are here, and the plants are bursting out of their little holders. You know, so I really need to plant those as quickly as possible, because they're not able to grow, and I think if you don't plant them quickly enough, they might die, mightn't they? Oh, you can't win, dear. So I've had to order them off Amazon at great expense. Like 16 quid for 3. Surely they're not. They're 16 quid? I mean, you can buy a hanging basket for 25 quid. Why is it £16 for that thing? Oh, probably because it's got to come through the post, I suppose. You've got packaging as well, haven't you? These things are sent to test us. Let's do a text. Andy. Black Country Museum is in Dudley in the West Midlands. It's a museum that have restored all the 1940 buildings. Oh, right, okay. So is it a museum you're going to then? I thought it was a weekend. Hang on. Black 1940s weekend. Let's just type in Black Country Museum. 1940s weekend daytime. There we are. Sunday, the 18th of July. Here we go. We transform the museum. Join us 17th and 18th of July. They transform the museum with vintage vehicles, 40 civilians and military personnel to bring the home front experience to life. Will Captain Manwaring be there? Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think old England's done, ba-da-da-da-da-da, we are the boys who will make you feel again. I love that, don't you? Do you love that? So it's a museum, okay. So it's slightly different, I think, than the Woodall Spa one. Oh, you'll have a good time there. You'll have a really good time there. All right. Okay, gang, that's my eye test. I was woken up this morning by Gary the cat. Yes. So I'm in bed. All my windows are closed. And I woke up about 6 o'clock to go and have a wee. And I went and had a wee. And I came back again. I thought, well, it's a little bit warm now. I'll open my windows. And I opened it. I've got dual aspect in the bedroom. Because a few years ago, I had another window put in what was just a wall. My God, what a difference that made to my life. It's beautiful. It's so nice to have 2 windows. Really is nice to have 2 windows in that bedroom. So I've got one that way and one that way. So I opened them both. And I nodded off to sleep again quite quickly, about 6 o'clock. I know, 6:05. And I don't know, I woke up. I heard a thump. Not loud, just a bit of a thump. I thought, what was that? And I thought, I wonder if that's Gary has climbed in the window, because you can, you see. If he comes, he can jump onto the top of the shed. I don't think it would hold a person, but he can jump onto the top of the shed, then onto the top fan of the air conditioning outside, and then onto the windowsill. I thought, I wonder if that was Gary. Anyway, I ignored it. Kind of, I don't sound stupid, hoping that Gary the cat had jumped up. I was hoping that Gary the cat had jumped up And anyway, so a little bit later, the TV went on, the alarm went on, which is the TV going on. And I've pulled my covers back, let the stench out of the bed. What is that smell of dead people whenever I pull back the bedclothes? I do wonder what that is. Awful. Anyway, so I've pulled back these bedclothes and I swung my legs round and I sat there, meow, meow, and there he is on the floor. Gary the cat, broken into my house. And I put my legs there. He's all round my legs. I think he wants to move in. My mate says the cat has chosen me. It wants to move in. I love it. I love it. We do love Gary the cat. So that was Gary. It was nice to be woken up by a cat. The last cat that woke me up was my mum's cat, Katie, who I took on when I lost my mother in 2000. She died a few years ago now. It's surprising how quickly time goes, isn't it? You know, that's got to be about 3 years now since I lost Katie the cat. And she used to wake me up in the morning by walking up and down me. Feed me, feed me. I think that is the case. Let's take a call. Daniel's on the line. Good evening, Daniel.
Evening, Chris.
All right?
No, I'm fine. I thought I'd phone you quick just in case you get the flick.
Yes, that's actually holding up now. So maybe they've done something and fixed it, whatever that was. It's rarely that it's like you who's got the problem, something that you've done. It's usually a network issue, but we've held out now for about half an hour, haven't we? So fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, you did get it fixed. Just earlier on, you were a bit out of sync. You know, you actually laughed when you wasn't laughing.
Yes, that's it. It will do that. It will do that. And the way to fix that is to refresh your page, and that usually does that.
Yeah, so hang on, Mum, I can't come in because it's going to interfere with the television. I'll stay out here.
What?
No, it's only a Chris Reardon call.
You got trouble with the television, dear? Call
yeah,
Radio
no,
Rentals.
I'm actually using the mobile phone via Skype, and I've actually got, and you're on the television in there. I'm actually in the conservatoire.
Well, I've
outside.
got to tell you, this is the best quality call that you've ever done to us.
Oh, really?
So however you're calling me tonight, in future, please call me by the same method.
Yes.
Sorry?
Wow.
That's really interesting, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Continue, bitch.
In fact, just earlier on, I don't like your rendition of Who Do You Think You Are Kidding, Mr. Hitler.
Oh, we love it, dear.
Yes.
Oh,
have you heard that one play? Have you heard that played on the steel drums before?
No, I haven't.
No, that's called Trinidad's Army.
Very good, dear. Trinidad's Army. Very, very good, dear. You're very, very quick tonight. You could have been a comedian. Oh, I think you sent me something about it being a comedy or something tonight or whatever. I can't remember seeing that somewhere.
Comedy tonight, yes. I was just seeing some old song.
Pardon?
Some song that Ken Dodd once did. In fact, there's a famous joke. It's a joke he did years ago.
Yes.
About Nigel Mansell, but everyone's forgotten who Nigel Mansell is now.
No, he was a racing driver.
Yeah, the racing driver.
See, I know.
I do one. Oh, go on. Yeah.
Where have you gone now?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry. No, you want me to do it?
Yes, dear.
It's
yes.
right there where you go. I got up in the morning. What an absolutely wonderful day. I felt like doing something really, really naughty today, like shoving a broom up Lewis Hamilton and saying, "How's this for pole position?"
Don't you be doing nasty things to my Lewis Hamilton, darling. He's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. He is. And didn't he kick his car the other day? I think he overshot a corner, didn't he? I'm sure I was watching it. Was it Lewis Hamilton? He overshot a corner.
He overshot a corner. Perhaps he should have gone to Specsavers.
Very quick, Daniel. You could be on the telly. You're certainly funnier than Keith Porter and Lemon.
Well, I'd say it was the thing about this show, Chris. I mean, I've been a part of this show now for over 365 days.
Yes, and God, it seems so much longer.
Yeah, and when I first started, I realised there's something about this. Because, I mean, in the old days, when you used to refer to that chat box, I used to think this is a battle of wits here. Because you say something, and I thought, I've got to come in quick with something. You did used to keep my brain going, ticking over.
Am I not
And
keeping
you
your
still do
brain
it,
ticking over now then, dear?
Oh, yeah, you still do, yeah.
Is it no longer ticking? Are you actually dead?
Well, I sometimes wonder if the old brain, if that injection maybe did a little bit to me.
Oh, right. What injection is
Since
this?
the old AstraZeneca spaceship.
Oh, don't
The one
worry
that's got
about
kids.
that.
No, I never did. I thought it was the best thing I ever had. I come out there going, yes, I've had it.
Yes, you feel so much better afterwards, don't you, my dear?
Yeah, and then I've got to go and do it all over again when I'm age 41.
Why 41? Is
Well,
that
because
soon?
my birthday's supposed to be on the 11th of July.
Oh,
As
do you
we
want
know,
us to wish you
last
happy
year.
birthday now? Then we
Well,
might have
no,
to do it
well, it
then.
depends what day it falls on, doesn't it? Do we
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
That's the point. Yeah. Has anyone got a calendar
Yes,
on
I've got a
hand?
calendar. One moment, please.
Yeah, have a look for the 11th of July. What day does it fall on?
11th of July. Just a moment, dear. 11th of July. 11th of July is a Sunday. Oh, we'll be doing a show on your birthday. How fabulous is that?
Yes.
Maybe someone will turn up with a cake for you. We like birthday cake.
Well, there's no need. I always make my own. See, I don't like that sticky icing on it. I
Well-
prefer a chocolate cake with raspberries on it.
Well, the best I found one of the best places to get birthday cakes from is Petite Valerie, but 35 quid.
Ah.
Is
What
that a
about
bit
the
much?
egg-free cake toast? I don't
Maybe
know
all
about
your
that, mate, your
maybe
way.
all your friends in the chat box will chip in and purchase you a birthday cake, and then I can sing it. Perhaps I could come over in, like, you know, one of those great massive birthday cakes, and I could hide inside and burst out into your living room.
Yes.
I think your mother would like that very much.
Oh, you can ask her. She's on the other side now. Listen to this.
On the other
telly.
side? What do you mean? She's
Yeah,
Church of England?
She's on the other side of the partition.
Oh, I beg
Yeah,
your pardon.
no,
yes,
the
right.
glass partition that we've got here.
Yes.
Actually, because what I thought was, Chris, if you, no, hang on, where am I? Oh yeah, if I ever did actually have my 40th birthday as an actual party again.
40th?
Well, that it all went to pot last year for obvious reasons.
Were you
And I think
40
my mum
last year, were you?
Was it what?
Were you 40 last year?
Yes, I was 40 last year.
Just 40?
Yeah, and a big party was planned.
Oh, I
At the
thought you was a
Bowls
bit
Club
older
in
than that.
Alchurch.
Sorry, I've seen your pictures. I thought you was a bit older than that. Anyway, carry on, dear.
Don't worry. Please bear in mind, Chris, I am the man who, when we was about, what was it, year 6 at school, would have been 10 years old at the time, the teacher said, right, for your next assignment, everybody, I want you to bring in a book, and she meant, of course, fiction book, that you've got to then do a sort of review about. And so everyone's bought in these fiction books for children, you know. And what did I bring in? A book called The Complete Countdown Companion.
Da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da. Boo!
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was a book all about word and number puzzles. and the show. And the teacher's looking at me. What the hell's he reading? Someone actually did say to me a couple of years later, if he's like this now, watching bloody Countdown, what's he going to be like when he's age 65?
Oh, dear. Were you good at maths at school? With people with Asperger's, right, like yourself, are there certain subjects that you're quite good at?
Well, the strange thing is, Chris, I've got no actual respect really for the British education system. I think it fails people. Certainly fails people like me. I don't know speak with anyone else, but because I do find it odd, right, that in this, you know, you put the news on sometimes. They talk about schools in other countries.
Yes.
And you think, well, we send our kids to school done up in shirt, tie, trousers, and blazer, and they come out and probably just as thick as they were when they went in.
Yes.
And yet over in all these foreign, France and Germany and all that, they send the kids to school in plain clothes, and they all come out going, yeah, I'm really clever now. Oh, I know what me 84 times table is and all that. And yet over here, it's like...
I think it depends
they're
on the
lucky to get a job
person.
at McDonald's.
I think it depends on the person. I certainly don't consider myself very intelligent. I wasn't very good at school at all. I found it very difficult to learn things. Very difficult.
I think
And even
the only bit of
even
victory
even more so now. I haven't got the patience to learn something new anymore, unfortunately. And this is getting to be more of a problem now, to be honest. I really don't have the patience to learn some. It's like the most recent example I can give you is Gary, my nephew, gave me that old Huawei phone, right? So he kind of set it up for me and put the little chip card thing in it. And it was all going, and I left his house. Okay, was it a? And, you know, I very quickly ran into a problem when I got to the petrol garage, filled up the car, and then suddenly realised I couldn't use my Apple phone to pay with Apple Pay because it wasn't on the Huawei phone. Fortunately, I had my cards with me, so I had to get my cards. And I thought, oh, it's going to just be like this all the time. And then just that one thing, and I took the card out and put it back in my iPhone because I knew how it worked. And I couldn't be bothered to learn the new thing.
Yeah.
You know, I just...
Trouble.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I've never really been that clever at learning things. That being said, I taught myself the DJing and all that, but I didn't have any lessons. I didn't have any lessons at all. Yeah, it's like the radio stuff and this stuff. I've never had lessons how to do this sort of thing, right? Never had lessons.
Well, it's not on the national curriculum, is it?
Well, I mean, the radio thing. Now, I never had lessons on the radio. Okay? In the 1960s and the 1970s and part of the 80s, there were no lessons on the radio. You just went and, right, well, this is what you do, this is what you do your show. Now, that's all very different now. People go to radio school and are taught how to speak, when to push the buttons, when to do this. And I think when you do that, you've taken all the different personalities away. And it's just like might as well have a robot doing the whole lot. Because everyone sounds the same. You know? Everyone sounds the same. So there is that. But then I suppose when you're fixing a car, is there a right way and a wrong way to do it? Or are there several ways to complete the same task? I reckon there's probably several ways to complete the same task.
Yeah, the only difference between a car and radio is that a car is like mechanical, whereas radio relies on your personality and your own personal.
Well, I've just thought, actually, my brother-in-law, as you know, he does kind of fix-it type videos, and my nephew as well. And they do fix-it type videos, and he'll do a job, I don't know, put a new exhaust on the car, and he'll do it all and make the video. And then he'll upload the video, and you get all these other people, oh, well, I'd do it like this, and I'd do it like that. Oh, no, you shouldn't be doing it that way, this, that, and the other. So I actually think, yeah, there probably is and it pisses him off. He gets pissed off for that, right? I would do as well. Sometimes, you know, it's better to say nothing, you know. Oh, well, that's how he wants to do it. You know, I'll just keep my mouth shut and let him get on with it. And I'm a bit the same like that, really. You know, I'll do something and then all these people are experts, except they've all got a different opinion on how this thing should be done. So perhaps there is like 101 ways to fix the same thing on a car. Don't know. Yeah.
Well, no, there's only 50 ways to leave your lover.
50 ways to leave your lover. No, there isn't.
Yeah.
One text message. That's it.
Unless of course you're a physics student, then that'd be 50 ways to love your lever.
Well, I got an O-level for physics. Yeah, so shut your mouth. O-level physics and English are the only two.
Well, actually, you meant going back to the school's problem. There was only one time in school when I got to really shine out for, let's say, great imagination and use of the brain. But the teacher didn't like it. I think he was a bit jealous. Well, year 7 science homework.
The teacher didn't like you, are you saying?
Yeah, well, the homework was to record that night's weather forecast, either by television, radio, or newspaper media. You see.
All right.
And I had it in my head when I thought, hang on a minute, he said television, radio, newspaper. I kept thinking, what other media is there? Because I thought everyone's going to do that, you know, turn my newspaper. And then I thought, of course, television. Press that thing that says text. CFAX.
Oh,
so you know what I went and did?
Now,
I got a piece of greaseproof
Yeah.
covered the television over it, and actually traced the British Isles round the Ceefax maps.
Did you really?
Yeah, and then put all the details in of what was where and what was happening in each region around the country, and stuck that in the school workbook. And I think what did it get? B minus or something? It got some grade that was not, you think, I've done all that,
And you've done
just
all that.
given me
Yeah, I know. That's horrible, isn't it? I remember kids standing up in class sometimes, and I hadn't done too well at whatever the task was. It could be maths, English, whatever it was, doesn't matter. And a teacher would say, this is really bad work, and the kid would be standing there. Saying, well, I've done my best. And the teacher would say, this is not your best. I know what your best is, and this isn't it. And I always felt that was a little bit much, really. The kid has probably, and the child has probably actually done their best. I was very lucky because my mum did most of my homework, if not all of it. She used to do all of it. Seriously, I used to cut, because we had an enormous amount of homework at our school in Fulham. I went to London Oratory in Fulham, and we would have hours of homework. Hours of it. Great big bloody briefcases we used to carry all this home. And my mum would sit there and do all this homework, right? All I had to do was copy it out, and I would complain that I had to copy it out. Of course, for the homework, I was getting good scores. When it came to exams, no, I was useless. I hated it. I hated homework and all that. And I don't think children should have homework. I really don't. I know it helps them along and all that business. In my mind, you go to school 9 till 3:30, 3:30, finish. It's like a job.
Yeah.
It's like a job. People who bring their work home, well, in a way, I suppose I have to. I have to do. I have to get new songs and things and do little computer bits while I'm here, ready for my one night a week at Central Station. But my cousin is in the police force in Australia. And honestly, the times I've been over there, and he finishes in the station, whatever he's doing, then he comes back, and all night long he's on the bleeding laptop, answering emails, this, that and the other, and it never stops. It never stops. I think there's a lot to be said for walking away. Your job finishes or school finishes at 3:30. That's it. Now the time is yours.
Yes.
Did you have a lot of homework, Dan?
Well, there's one thing I've never alluded to yet, is that I was actually, for about 1.5 years, I think, I was actually part of the St John's ambulance, which I was never really,
What, while you was
Mum
at school?
pushed me into it.
Is that why you was
Yeah, well, I was at school, yeah.
Oh.
And
right.
when it got to year 8, this English teacher...
How old is that, year 8? Is that 8 years old? Or...
That's like 12 to 13.
Okay, yes.
And this English teacher, Mr. Mike East, he would set this homework, obviously really difficult homework, and he'd say, every week it'd be this, and that's to be done by tomorrow, please. And you'd think, oh no, I've got to go to the St John's ambulance tonight. How am I going to bloody do this and night, and it got to the point where I said, Mum, sorry, I'm not going there anymore. I stopped it.
What, the St John's ambulance?
I was never getting far anyway.
Or the school or the ambulance? What did you give up?
Sorry? The school, the St John's ambulance.
What, both of them?
Well, there was only one St John's ambulance I was in.
You either gave up the school or the St John's ambulance. Which was it?
No, the St John's ambulance.
You gave up St John's ambulance.
Yeah.
So you carried on going to school, yes?
Yes, I had, because of what the law said. Yeah.
Right.
I was only there because of the law. I wasn't there through choice.
Yes. I don't think many of us are there through choice. I wonder if Ollie gets much school homework. We'll have to ask. Ollie, do you get much school homework? Anyway, Dan, thanks for the call tonight.
Yes, it's been great.
Have a lovely evening. I'm so glad it held up the internet this evening. Cheerio.
Yes, all right. See you then. Thanks,
Bye,
Chris.
Dan. Yeah, I'm really pleased that I did think we were going to have a real issue with the internet tonight, but that seems to have resolved itself now, I'm pleased to say. Jeff. It's our mate Jeff. Hi, Chris. Thorpe Thorpe Camp Visitors Centre, Tattershaw Thorpe, are advertising a 90s 40s weekend for July the 3rd and 4th this year. Oh, well, that's not far, is it? That's not far, because this 1940s, it seems to be some sort of like a business, I suppose, and it goes from place to place doing these weekends. It is fantastic, Jeff. Have you actually been to any before, Jeff? Because let me tell you, the one at Woodall Spa was amazing. When we went a couple of years ago, my sister goes every year, of course, because that's where she lives. It's not far from our caravans, Jeff. But while we were there, we're going up and down there, looking at these things, and then you could hear this noise. Really loud, and it got closer and closer. I kid you not. I think it was. Is it the Lancaster bomber? It came. You know the Woodall Spa, and it came and flew right over us, quite low down as well. It was fantastic. That noise, the noise of that beautiful thing, which of course, as you know, occasionally flies over our caravans. Doesn't that make your hair stand up on end when you hear that buzzing noise coming over? I love it. I love it. Is it the Lancaster bomber? Can't remember what it's called now. Well, I would recommend you go to that, Jeff. I think you'd really like that. And Linda and your wife, you'd really like something like that. Would there be anywhere to sit down? Well, yeah, I should imagine there's places to sit down if you feel a little bit on the old legs, you know. There's Ollie. Ollie says, I was born in the same hospital as Lewis Hamilton. My dad met Lewis and his dad. Wow. Did you get his autograph, Ollie? Are you into motor racing or anything like that? Is that something you'd like to do? Drive a racing car, perhaps? He says, I'm a very practical learner. I learn better by doing than I do by writing or listening. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I had a bit of teaching from his dad on how to DJ, but he didn't teach me how to mix and beat match. He just taught me to use the crossfader. I think when it comes to certain things, like beat matching, like playing football, like playing the piano, I don't believe you can just learn. You have to have it in you to be able to do that. I never had any DJ lessons either. I had a few piano lessons. That was okay, but I was already able to play by ear before I had the lessons, so I couldn't really learn the music because I would just, I can't be bothered to learn that. I can play it anyway, you know, on my own. I'd love to be able to read music, but I think, it's something that you'd have to learn, and I don't have that in my head. I do get fed up with these people who saying, you know, oh, anyone can do anything. I don't believe that, you see. I honestly don't believe that. And often you find these people that say that they can do anything, and then they do something and they think they're really good at it and they're not. Like, for example, talking. You know, like talking. I mean, I just come out with crap most of the time, as you know. Ollie. Amelia gets a lot of college homework to do. It's really annoying. Yeah, it just bores me. Bores me. It used to bore me at homework. Rachel, it is the Lancaster bomber with Spitfire and Hurricane. Yes, we had a Spitfire go over the other day. Oh, the noise. It's not like the jets, is it, Rachel? Those jets are a little bit... No, they're not annoying. They don't bother me at all, the jets. But they're not Lancaster bombers, are they? Completely different sound. I wonder how much petrol they get through. You know, when those jets are practising above our caravans, Jeff, they must get through some petrol. Where do they get green shield stamps whenever they fill up? The pilot's collecting the glasses. Do you remember you used to be able to collect stuff, didn't you, from Shell, mainly from Shell petrol garages, glasses and things like that. Collect and you get a voucher, and then when you had 5 vouchers, you could exchange it for a Shell glass. Do you remember that? They don't do any of that now. What else did they used to have? I know they had glasses. I think they had coins or something. Didn't they have some sort of coins? You know what I had years ago? I haven't got them anymore. I chucked them away. Man on the Moon coins. I kid you not. I bet they're worth some. Oh, let's have a look on eBay. Let's have a look on eBay. See if I can find them. Man on the Moon coins. There was like a blue cardboard thing. No, these are very different. Man on the Moon coin. No, that's not on there. Coin. Man on the Moon coin set, maybe? Factory sealed. No, that's not it. Hang on. Let's try it on Google, see if I find anything there. What did these come with? Was it packets of tea? Can't find them now. You used to collect these coins. I can't remember whether it was packets of tea or petrol station or something like that. It was like a dark, like that colour blue. Was that colour blue? And you'd get these coins and then just push them in. A whole set of those. Chucked them away. Chucked them all away. Jeff went to Woodall Spa before last year. Oh, you must have been the same time as I was there. Followed up main RS by a blooming half-track lorry. Don't argue with them. Pull over as soon as possible. And it is a Lancaster. Thank you very much. I love that noise, Jeff. Tell me, do the jets bother you and your missus when you're at the caravan or not? Do they bother you? Are you back home now? I think you're back home. Jeff was saying the thing is with a caravan, when it gets hot, it gets really hot, especially right if the sun is hitting you, and it hits Jeff and my caravan as soon as it comes up, and it warms up very quickly. It gets unbearably hot in a caravan, and I think it become too much for his missus. Of course, I've had the cold air put in mine. I don't know if you're interested, Jeff. It'll cost you a little bit of money, but there is now a bloke on site who does air conditioning, and he will fit one. I think it's about 900 quid. I don't know if that would be little sort of in your range to do something. The other thing is, of course, you never really know how long you're going to have the caravan, or you're going to have it there for. Maybe you might have it for 10 years. Maybe in 6 months' time you'll have enough and sell on again. But there is a bloke on the site who does actually put. His name's Reese, RHYS. I can probably find his email address out if you'd be interested, or his phone number. I don't know him, I've never met him, but I know he's done a couple of the vans on the site, and he puts in the air conditioning. You'll have a big fan on the back, similar to what you see outside mine, and you'll have a unit in the... you can have one if you want, just in the living room, or one in the bedroom, or I have both. I have one in the living room and one in the bedroom. The only thing is you took the curtain down, didn't you? So you've got a bit of an open plan, but you can sit underneath this thing, and ice cold air is coming out, and it really makes a huge amount of difference to caravans in the summer. Let me know if you want his contact information there. But as I say, it's about £800-900 to have something like that done. It's a fair old job, actually. Once he's put it all in, you don't really feel ripped off. You can see where the value is there. Andy says, remember the pictures they used to put in PG Tips? Yes, I used to have hundreds of them. Wish I'd kept them now. Yes, as indeed I did. I had those. Strange but true. Strange but true. Strange but true. PG Tips. That was a selection of cards. Let's see. PG Tips. No, it's not there. PG Tips cards. eBay. No, you can't find these things now. Brook Bond Tea-Tart. Maybe it was Brook Bond, was it? Strange but true. I don't know who it was. Yeah, I had those as well. I used to collect all these things. The glasses from the garage. Well, my mum collected the glasses from the garage. I'm sure they gave other stuff away at the petrol garages as well. I can't remember what it was now. Ollie K says, unfortunately, I wasn't alive when he met them, as in Lewis Hamilton. JK used to race go-karts. And when he stopped, he did a bit of coaching and all the karting club and met Lewis when he was 7 to 8 at a race weekend, bless him. I am very into racing. Going to go karting with JK and some of his friends on Friday. And he said, if I beat him, I can go karting in the British Championships, which would be amazing if I do. Yeah, be careful though, wouldn't you? Don't take. Well, I suppose do you have to take risks when you're doing that sort of thing? I suppose you do really when you're overtaking thing, won't you? You know, go karting. Yeah, actually, was my nephew. I think when my nephew got married, his stag day before, the day before, we went go karting. I didn't actually go. I don't think I did it. I was quite happy to sort of stand up there and watch him and all his mates go round this racetrack at Tattershall, which is near the caravan. I think it's still open there. Tattershall go-karting track. And that was quite a nice day there. Good evening to Vera. Evening, Vera. Vera says, you mentioned homework. I used to these little kids weighed down with books. I used to see these little kids weighed down with books in their backpack. They used to look like they would fall over backwards. Yeah. It's so much. Homework is just awful. You think you finish your day's schooling and then that's it, yeah. Jeff is back home. Jets don't bother us. We went to Coningsby to watch the planes taking off. Did you go on that hill? There's a hill there, isn't there? Two of the Jets waved to Linda. Really made her day. All right, Linda. Well, I'll wave as well next time I go past. I'll wave as I go past next time, Linda, and make your day as well. All right, darling. Someone sent an email in, have they? Oh, okay, thank you, Rachel. Let's have a look there. Someone sent an email. Not to me, they haven't. It's nothing here. No email here, my darling. No email here. Okay. Maybe I'll try again a bit later. Oh, it's Tom Harris. Good evening, Tom. Tom Harris. Hello, Tom. Tom Harris. He's probably the longest person who's been connected with the show, actually. Hello, Tom. Was it maybe these, he says. Let's have a look. Shell, Man in Space. That's the one. Man in Space. Thank you very much. Let's take a photo of that. Thank you, Tom. Nice to see you, Tom. Hang on a minute. Man in Space. There you go. So you'd collect these coins at the Shell petrol garage, yeah? And you just stick them in the card and you had a booklet and I had these. What was the year of these then? Got to be 70s sometime. Does it say? Doesn't say when it was now. Got a date on this. Actually, I'm not sure that Man in Space. It was Man. I'm sure it was Man in. Do you know? I can't remember now. Ah, there. Here it is. Here it is. Man in Flight. This is the one I had. I got that wrong then. This is the one I had. There you go. I knew that was the wrong colour. Man in Flight. There it is. So I had all of those. And you've got a record as well, like a really floppy plastic record, and you could put it on, and it would be them talking, you know, a recording of what went on when they first went to the moon. It's a fantastic little collection to have. Thanks so much for that, Tom. Much appreciated. It's Chicago Tom. Tom is in the house. Hello, Tom. What do you reckon on the jackets? They're getting more and more outrageous, aren't they, my darling? The lovely Clarissa bought me this. Beautiful. Thank you, Tom. Alrighty. On we go, gang. Ingoldmell's litter. Terrible. Now, Fran has sent in a little email here. She's recently been to Ingoldmell's. Now, that's not too far from Mablethorpe, where we go to Haven Holiday. But Fran writes... One moment, please. Oh, come on. Where's that gone now? There it is. Ingoldmell's. Here we go. Look at this. Where she was at Ingoldmell's, which is like a seaside resort. Look. Disgusting, dirty people. Look at it. In actual fact, I've got to be honest, that doesn't look too bad to me. I've seen it a lot worse than that. But that being said, it's still pretty bad, isn't it? People just leave their old crap there. And Fran writes, "Hi Chris, this is why I prefer Mablethorpe. You can see they clean the litter all the time. You can watch them empty the bins on the front and go back and start again. Ingoldmell and Skegness are lazy councils. Have a good day." And that's from the lovely Fran. So she sends that picture in of Ingoldmell, and she's quite right about Skegness. When you look on the beaches at Skegness, that can be pretty bad as well. Right. Worse than that, actually. And there are bins. They do put bins out on the beach in Skegness. All right, people just don't use them. It's just blooming everywhere. Cans and broken bottles. Small people run around on those beaches getting their little feet wet and cut. You maybe remember the story I read to you the other day, wasn't it? It was actually the family. They'd been using one of these disposable blooming barbecue things. And they'd put it out and put the barbecue to one side. But they didn't realise, and I didn't realise, sand holds the heat for a very long time. And their little boy stepped on it, and all his foot was burnt, and he had to go to hospital. It's a right state, his foot. Terrible. Thanks so much for that, Fran. Don't know what it's like where you are, but just wish people would pick up their blooming litter. Thanks so much to Gary Ross for sending this in. I mean, poor old Harry. Oh, it's all too much, because they got a little child now, haven't they? Got a little child, little girl. Lilybet the girl, right? But it's all too much for Harry. The Sun is reporting new dad Harry is taking 5 months paternity leave. Leave from what? Appearing on the telly, moaning about the royal family that you came from? Is that where you want the holiday from? Or become a little bit too much for you, Harry? Oh, I'm so sorry, darling. I'm so sorry. It's just too much. Well, perhaps if you hadn't gone on the telly, coming out with all that stuff, then you wouldn't need a break. Says in the Sun, new dad Harry is taking 5 months paternity leave, giving the rest of us a break from the preachy prince bending our ears. What does he need a break from? Please someone tell me that. What, going around shaking a few arms? One royal commentator said last night, not being working royals anymore, they are free to do what they want. The prince's 20-week paternity break compares with just a fortnight's paid leave for new dads back in the UK. His near half absence eclipses the time taken by his brother Prince William. So, I mean, the Duke of Cambridge, 38, enjoyed 2 to 3 weeks off when Prince George and Prince Charlotte were born, but only 2 days for Prince Louis. Harry, 36, and wife, 39, Meghan, will both spend a 5-month parental break at their 11 million pound mansion in California. California, here I come. Yeah. Wow. What does he need a break for? From what? And look at me. Look at me. Oh, I can't wait to be back at work a couple of times a week. I'm doing 1 now. And I'm happy to be doing 1. I'd rather be doing 2, maybe 3 at a push. Wouldn't want to do any more than 3, no. Just to keep my arm in there. Otherwise it gets a bit boring sitting at home at night on your own, as some of you will know. There's our lovely Clarissa. Good evening, Clarissa. Glad you still like your jacket and still looking good in them. I hope to look good one day. I need to lose a bit of weight, my darling. I've got to see my special doctor next week. I know he's going to moan. Oh, you haven't managed to lose the weight, have you, Chris? I saw he was actually in the clinic today while I was having my blood taken. I said, all right, Mike. And when he sees you, he looks quizzical. Not till next week. And that's it. He don't talk to you unless it's your appointment. And when it's your appointment, he's so friendly and nice. Once that appointment's gone, he don't want to see you till next time. I probably, hopefully it will be, I think I go next Thursday. Is it Thursday? Oh, Wednesday. Appointment next Wednesday, 11:20. So I won't have a show next Wednesday either. There's not one tomorrow, a radio show. And there won't be one next Wednesday either because it's 11:20 appointment. Yeah. Yeah, usually I'll go in. Hello, how are you? Any problems today? He'll look up on the computer the results of all that blood they sucked out my arm. But I mean, 6 test tubes! 6! 6 test tubes and a bottle of wee. God, I always wonder how much wee you're supposed to put in that little bottle. I mean, most of us fill it up, don't we? You got all this stuff to look forward to when you get older, Ollie. They start wanting bits of you. Probably when you get older, they'll have all DNA records of everyone, I would imagine. We'll all be microchipped at the moment, according to certain people. You know, with our injections, we've all got microchips in us, you know. Every time I come out of the self-service checkout, it goes bleep. Everyone looks around. You know, why has that gone bleep? Chris Reardon's just walked through. It's been microchipped by the Astra spaceship injection. Thank you, Clarice. I'm glad to... Yes, I love your jackets. They are probably the most colourful ones that you got there, so thank you very much for those, darling. All right. Where would you recommend for a UK holiday, boys and girls? Is there anywhere that you'd recommend? Because, obviously, this business with Portugal that we've seen going on over the last 24, 48 hours, people rushing back. I mean, I keep saying this. To go abroad at the moment, you must need your head seeing to, unless there's a really good reason for you to go. Yeah, I said this morning on the radio show, you know, there's people being interviewed. Why did you go? Oh, we wanted a bit of sunshine. Well, stick your head out the door and have a look. We've got beautiful weather at the moment, beautiful. Now and again you get a day of cloud, but that's okay, isn't it? It's not cold. Why are they so desperate to get on a blooming plane? And the expense, loads of tests. If you're going to self-isolate, well, that's 750 quid, isn't it? Or something like that, for 10 days in one of those awful hotels. Where would you recommend, anyone who's watching at the moment might be thinking about, where can we go on holiday? Where would you recommend people go on holiday? It could be a place or a type of holiday. You know, you might say, oh, people like a fishing holiday. I know that George Bond likes going fishing. There are certain caravan sites that are renowned for their fishing. You know, that's caravan sites can be based on a type of holiday. I mean, you've got the normal ones like Haven holidays, okay? Haven holidays. That would be like a family holiday. If you want a little quiet holiday, you don't go to Haven Holidays or Park Dean. You don't go to those. You want a quiet holiday, you know, I don't know any, but you could seek them out. Quiet caravan holiday in the middle of the Welsh countryside or somewhere like that. The caravan sites I have my caravan on, we are not allowed to rent out our caravans, and thank God for that, quite frankly, because you never know who's going to turn up in the one next to you. You know, I mean, Jeff and Linda are always very disappointed when I turn up because of the noise that I make. Isn't that right, Jeff and Linda? Oh, God, here he comes again. Music blaring out of the car. No, I'm not like that at all. But we don't have holiday makers on our side. Some of them are holiday makers, right? But they own their own caravan, so they come down a few times a week. There's a couple of people that are there most of the time. I myself, I think I've spent, the longest I've been there has been 2 weeks continuous. 2 whole weeks, which was in the middle of the 2 lockdowns last year. Where would you go on holiday? Where would you recommend people go on holiday to? Let's have a little look what you're saying there. Jeff says Whitby. Whitby is fantastic, Whitby. I love it there. It's really old school. It's really old school. If I remember rightly, you park near the co-op. Co-op's there, isn't it? In front of the train station. There's parking there. You park there, pay your money, and then you're there for the day. You walk across the road, there's a few shops there, a little bit further, and there it is. The little fishing boats. Lots and lots of old people walking away, and they've all got dogs. I don't know what all that's about. All got dogs, and either handfuls of chips or an ice cream cone. And you walk along there, there's something very special about Whitby. It's old England. Hello, we're back. Are we back? We're back. We got disconnected then, didn't we? Where was I now? Yes, Whitby. Whitby, and there's a steam train behind, and you can get on there and you can go to where they filmed Heartbeat. It's just absolutely stunning, Whitby. Highly recommended. Good recommendation there, Jeff, to you there. Fran says, I would always recommend Cornwall. She says, Cornwall is brilliant. Close second. Close second is Cornwall. That sounds very nice. Cornwall there. Clarissa loves going to Great Yarmouth. Should be there in a few weeks' time. Anyone else? Where would you recommend British people go for a holiday rather than wasting this time trying to go abroad when you don't even know what's going to happen while you're there? Will you be able to get out? Will you be able to get back? Anything like that? Where would you recommend to go for a holiday? I know that one of my friends at the moment is gone. He goes all over the place. I don't know what his job used to be, but he always seems to have money to go everywhere, usually first class. He's in the Scottish Highlands at the moment, and he's got a little room in a hotel, sort of right in front of him are just loads of trees. On the other hand, it's a bit like that here. You know, I've got just trees outside. That's why I love it here, surrounded by the tall pine trees. Mind you, that being said, if there weren't so many trees, I'd get more solar power off me solar panels. But yeah, Scottish Highlands, very nice. Or family holiday. What about a Butlins? I'm not so sure about Pontins. You always hear bad stories about them now. Wasn't like that in the 70s. We had wonderful times at Pontins. Or maybe they are exactly the same as when we were children, except people demand much more there for their holidays. You know, we were kind of happy to just go in a little room and be at breakfast at 8:30 in the morning, lunch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and dinner at 8 o'clock at night. Things in between, donkey derby, swimming pool competitions and bike rides, donkey derby. And then at night time, you know, you'd have a band in there playing covers. Entertainment, comedians, juggling acts, all sorts of things at Pontins. It was great. It was absolutely great, but I don't think they kept their estate up to scratch, judging from what I've seen on the internet. There's some horrific YouTube videos of people that have been to Pontins and videoed the whole lot. Shame. I'm sure Butlins are good at it, though. As I say, Clarissa going to Great Yarmouth in a couple of weeks' time. I think they got a fish thing there. You know, when you go to those fish sea scene, or you know, where you go in and see all the aquariums or something like that. They're all the same though. These same aquariums are all over the world. I went to the one in Sydney, and you might as well have been in the one in London. Exactly the same. Can't remember what they're called now. London Aquarium, something like that. Rachel says, I'm happy in the UK. I would recommend Cumbria. A lot of lakes down there. Is that Lake District, Cumbria? That's nice. All the lakes. Remember in the Scouts, we were there. Lake Windermere. Got in this boat. We're going around in this boat, and on the I didn't go because I was scared of heights. They walked along this ledge on the top of a mountain. I was too scared to go up there. I was absolutely. I thought it was like a knife edge. That's how it was explained to me. It's probably about 2 foot wide. You know, you're not going to fall off either side, are you? Can't remember what it was. Anyone know what that's called? Somewhere in the Lake District, like a knife edge where you walk along it. It can't be like that, surely. And people would be falling off it left, right, and centre, wouldn't they? Eh? Do you have parachutes? I'd need a parachute. Vera, I would like to go back to the Isle of Mull again. Now, I think I told you, Vera, I've been there. The Isle of Mull, yeah, you get a ferry across from Oban. You go over there. On the other side, you get some shops, and then that's it, really. Little bus goes around, so if you want the bus to stop, you literally just put your arm out wherever you are on this. There's only like one main road going around there. It's a lovely place, Isle of Mull. Went there with the Scouts, went up this mountain, got lost. You know, went pitch black it went. We made our way towards a light. Set up camp next to what we thought was this old river. In the morning, we poked our heads out. We would actually pitched up underneath or near a very picturesque bridge, and there were people looking at us. Who's this here? They probably thought they were gypsies or something like that. Where's the caravans? Not here, mate, no. And we clear up afterwards. When we were Scouts, we were taught to clear up after us, like as if we'd never been there. And that's indeed what we did. It was lovely, the Isle of Mull. Yeah, I'd like to go back there again. You buy houses on there. I looked that up as well. They weren't as cheap as I thought they were, actually, Vera. Arlamole, lovely place. Anywhere you think you could recommend people go on holiday in the UK rather than trying to go abroad or anything like that? McDonald's deals this week, gang. Good news. Who doesn't like McDonald's? Come on. I never used to go. And then for some reason, back earlier this year, I started going. And now it's like once every 2 weeks. That's not bad, is it? Once every couple of weeks to McDonald's. Come on. Dear, but there are people that are there morning, noon and night. You know, I don't really particularly like the McDonald's near us. Their service is a bit iffy. You know, if you moan, they're not really interested. But nevertheless, in the Sun is reporting today, special offer. Burp, burp, burp. Special offer. Who likes McDonald's? How many times do you go to McDonald's? Answer me that question, please. Once again, if you're in the chat box, I'm not in the chat box. Please send us a text. 07451287337. Or you can send an email in. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Phone line is now closed. Thank you very much for Dan for calling in tonight. What do you reckon, McDonald's? How many times do you go there in a week? Or is it once a month? McDonald's is launching a week of deals. Cling! Money to be saved. You'll be able to nab a new discount each day, including 30% off the entire menu. The 7 days of deals begins tomorrow, June the 9th, and runs until next Tuesday, okay? The deals will change every day during the event, but you'll be able to get discounts across a variety of menu items. The first promotion, which is tomorrow, will see the price of a McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese slashed from £3.39 to 99 pence. There you go, Ollie. Get your dad to take you there tomorrow. Usually £3.39. Tomorrow, 99 pence. McDonald's quarter dead animal pounder. Triple cheeseburger, usually £2.19, will be 99 pence on Thursday. That fish thing, usually £3.39, will only be 99 pence on Friday. On Saturday and Sundays, customers will be able to save £5 when they spend £15. That's a good one, isn't it? May I sneeze? Do you mind? Do you mind? Can I sneeze? Hey! Oh, dear me. So £5 when you spend £15 on Saturday and Sunday this week. So that's good news. Those of you that are doing that. And next Tuesday, you'll be able to save 30% off your entire order next Tuesday, okay? Oh, dear. And this promotion runs for 5 days afterwards. So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, £5 off, and you get that all through the meals. Okay, all for the app, the McDonald's app. Have you got the McDonald's? Have I got that? Don't know, mummy. Let me just check this McDonald's app. One moment, please. Have I got McDonald's app? Oh yes. Oh yes. Clubhouse Deluxe. So I'll be able to save that. So I'll tell my mate it's my turn for the McDonald's next week. Don't tell him it's 30% off, please. Thank you. He might think I'm a cheapskate. Why would anyone think that I was a cheapskate? Rude. Fran, adults only in Alford. Or is it Alford or Alford where her she's got a little holiday at the moment, where we stay, or she was there anyway. It's so quiet, especially when we have been to Skegness in the crowds. Oh, yes, yeah, I do like a quiet holiday, really. I don't like too much noise and that going on. That being said, I love it when I'm with my great niece and great nephew, you know, mucking around with them, shouting and screaming all the time. I'm the one who's loudest. My nephew's wife does get very upset at me with the amount of noise I make sometimes. Hello to Andy. He says it's amazing how many stars that have come through from being blue coats or red coats. Yes, what's his name? Wasn't Bradley Walsh a red coat? That's true, that is. They started off in holiday camps like that, you know. Very different now, isn't it? Very different. Is it better now or just different? I don't know. Maybe we see the past through rose-tinted spectacles. That's the old saying, isn't it, there? Rose-tinted spectacles. Alrighty. Something's gone wrong at Chessington Zoo. It's all very well us saying all these places to go, but perhaps you were considering Chessington Zoo, were you? Do you like theme parks? You see, I like Disney. I do like Disney, as you know. I don't go on the fast rides. They frighten the life out of me. You know, quite happy to be on It's a Small World. La 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 la. Yeah, Fran says Shane Ritchie was a blue coat. Of course, you remember the holiday camp programme Heidi High. How fabulous was that? And when you watch that, Heidi High, people used to say to me, was it really like that? Yes, that's exactly how it was. It was fantastic. With the great Sue Pollard. I met Sue Pollard. She's the same as she was on the programme. Off her head on another planet, dear. Wonderful lady. Heidi High was like that. But Chessington Zoo, do you fancy that one? Well, be careful. The Daily Mirror is reporting today huge queues with no social distancing, broken down rides and few people wearing masks saw chaos around Chessington World of Adventures yesterday. Exasperated families were forced to leave, heaving queues of crying children that one mum estimated stretched a kilometre long. You imagine standing in the queue a kilometre long, waiting for a ride. Oh dear. Despite having been told to book online, visitors were urged by members of the staff to come again another day after they'd been waiting over an hour. Guests battled through 2.5 hour long queues in stifling heat to get on a handful of rides before they shut down for the day at 5 o'clock. Well, that's early, isn't it? 5 o'clock? See, the thing is, the difference here with this and Disney, you can be standing in the Disney queues for some time, but it's not really like you're queuing. There's always things going around, like on TV screens, and they have like shelters like out of the sun, so the sun is not right on you. They wouldn't have that at Chessington. Look, they've got a picture here. Look, awful. Look at these people queuing here. This is Chessington World of Adventures in the Daily Mirror. Look, awful. One mum had to sit on a children's ride with her son for 20 minutes until a park attendant arrived and pushed their cart the short distance back to the coaster station. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's something that broke down, I suppose. Another visitor endured a lengthy queue to get on board a ride, only for it to break down when he got to the front. He vowed never to return to the park after taking his son and a family for an overnight stay. It's really badly organised, this woman told the Mirror. I don't know if it's COVID or what, but the queues were an hour plus for each ride, which is a long time for little kids to wait. It certainly is. The queues were ridiculous. Wow. We did 4 rides. One ride, a small one for kids, was broken. It took 20 minutes for an engineer to push for us to step out. They gave us free ice cream tokens, but the majority of the kiosks were closed. Another one here says, I queued for an hour and a half to get in, then queued for a ride. I got to the front and it breaks down, he said. Gosh. So you might want to think twice. They've obviously got some sort of problems at Chessington. Maybe too many people going at the same time. But they do say in that one, you know, they did online bookings. You'd think they'd know when to stop taking the bookings, wouldn't you? There must be some sort of limit there, I would imagine. Eh? And another story in the Daily Mirror. This is a place called Thunderworld. And the bloke there, when he said it was plagued by mishaps and hazards, including bird poo on the seats and rides breaking down. Well, I mean, the bird poo could have come there sort of that day, I suppose. I don't know. A dad has blasted a dangerous theme park after he says his daughter narrowly escaped getting hit by a dodgem car. How'd you nearly get hit by a dodgem car and a string of alleged safety failures on the fairgrounds opening day? This bloke took his 3 children for a day out at Thunderworld, which is in Bristol, so that would be where Mike and Mandy live, won't it? One group of terrified thrill seekers screaming mid-air on an allegedly malfunctioning roller coaster. He was there on June the 2nd, the same day that Bristol Live, the web paper, reported a spinning ride allegedly started while a little boy didn't have a safety bar on him. £16 for entry, Jesus. So you see, these theme parks, you know, as I say, I don't go on the fast rides at all, ever. They frighten the life. And there's the proof. Sometimes these things go wrong. And it's not really much fun queuing for hours on end for a blooming ride, is there? Well, I have to say, when I've gone to Florida, that's always been incredibly busy. But they know what to do. Disney know how to do it. You go there, you know, you see the amount of people heading for that entrance. Huge amounts of people. And they all get through and they all move around. And there's no one complaining because it works. They know how to do it. Trains of people moving around all the time. It's very, very clever. Very clever how they do that. Not so good in Paris. I don't know what that is about. The French seem completely oblivious. The fact that there's a queue of 500 people there. Where are we now? John Parrish, the Yorkshire farm up in the Downs near us, as seen on TV. The Yorkshire, what's the Yorkshire farm in the Dales? I don't know. What, Emmerdale Farm? Is that near you? Is that what you mean? Emmerdale Farm. Ba 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 ba. Do you know we need that as a bed, don't we? Let me write that down. Emmerdale. I'll try and get that for. No, I'm not on the radio tomorrow, am I? Emmerdale Farm. Emmerdale Farm. I love the music there. Well, just popping back to the subject of the internet there, they obviously had some sort of problem earlier on, which they fixed now. So that's good news, isn't it? No more buffering. Rachel McDonald's probably about 3 times a month. As much as that. I'm surprised at that. I was going every week, but we've cut that back now to once every 2 weeks. And besides, it's like 20 quid every time 2 of you go in it. You know. It's all right if you're on your own. It's not too bad then, you know, sort of tenner here and a tenner there. Do you know what? Now that you've mentioned that again, I don't know. I didn't feel like this, Rachel. I didn't feel like this while I was talking about it. But now that you've mentioned it, I'd die for a vanilla shake. It's open till 11. I could get the car out. I could walk there, actually. I could walk there in about 40 minutes and get myself a vanilla shake. Mind you, last time we went, they didn't have any there. No shakes. Ooh, 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 ooh. My milkshake brings the boys to the yard. That one, yeah. Ollie, are you still with us? You go to McDonald's much? Just a matter of interest. Fran Green, my daughter was a Butlins red coat. She loved it. I wanted to do that. It's one of those things I wanted to do when I was a little boy. I wanted to be a Pontins blue coat. I did win the junior talent show competition. Yes, I did. No, I didn't win. I was second. Junior talent show. I was second. I always remember going into this this ballroom. Junior talent show was in the afternoon, and we all went in there. There's not much of a crowd in there, but it went on, and I was second. I played the piano. Yeah, second out of 3. How embarrassing to be third. How wonderful to be first. I was second. I was happy with that. And I won a voucher. And do you know what I chose as a prize? A Shirley Bassey album. I think I was 15 or 16. Yeah. I do have a picture of that. Do you want to see it? I'll have to quickly find it. Hang on a minute. It's on my Facebook somewhere. Let's see if I can find that. Actually, no. I probably won't be able to find it, actually. Hang on. Let's try. Let's try. Just very quickly. There's a haunting strain of music. Pontins. I don't think this is Pontins. Sandbait. No, it's not. That's not me playing the piano. This was the fancy dress competition. Now I told you I had goofy teeth. Don't take the piss when I show you this. Oh, I won't show it if you do. Okay, I'll show it. I might use this as my profile picture today. You ready for this? Okay, so it was a fancy dress competition, and it was hats. It was hats, and you all had to make your own hat. And not much effort on my part, but I kind of did it. I was number 34. Shall I use that as my profile picture? Shall I? I'm going to. 1 minute. I'm going to use that as my profile picture. How do I do that? Okay, save image as. Alright, download. I'm going to upload that now as my profile picture. Update profile picture. Upload photo. There it is. And oh, I do like to have a laugh there. There we go. And save. You want me in that hat, don't you? Oh, look who it is, Shania's there. Good evening, Shania. Are you still running the rosary at the moment, Shania? Never mind. Yeah, better late than never, so they say. I'll remember that when I book into Mass at your church one day. Better late than ever. As he's doing the final blessing, I say, oh, hello, Shania. Can you just imagine that if I was standing in your church? Right. You walk in at the beginning, ding, ding, as the bell goes, and you walk in holding the cross, and I'm standing at the front. All right, Shania. You would die, wouldn't you? Gary Ross, your photo looks like Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. The Benny Hill song. Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. La, da, 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 da. I want a bag of crisps now, Rachel. What have you done to me tonight? I now want a vanilla shake and a bag of cheese and onion crisps. I've had one bag today already, though. Oh, it's a small bag. Small. Good. Women's urinals. Thank you very much to the lovely Vera in London for sending this in. Now, it's in the trash paper known as The Guardian, which I don't like. Very, very hard left paper. This is the offensive paper. They're always offended by something. But nevertheless, Vera has taken the time and trouble to send something in. And she says in her little email, where is that? There it is. No, that's not it. One moment. Vera, where's your email gone, darling? I can't find the email now. What? Thanks for the email, Vera. She sends this in. These are the newly designed women's urinals. I'm sorry, but how do you use that, girls? It's not like you got something to point, is it? Huh? Awful. These are called the P-Qual. The new women's urinal. Will it spell the end of queues for the ladies? What do you like? Do you like the look of this, ladies? Because I don't. If I was a woman, I don't think I'd want to use something like that. You want a door, don't you, girls, eh? Oh, come on, girls. You need a door. People could walk in, couldn't they? It's called the Pupil. It's brand new. And it's a toilet. Research shows that women in the UK spend 34 times longer queuing for public loos than men do. Well, that's because they all start bleeding talking in. Yang, 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 yang. Can you just imagine going into a ladies' toilet and all 4 of the loose women are in there? Oh, I can't think of anything more horrific in my life, dear, than that. Chat, chat, cackle, cackle, cackle. It says, does the world really need more toilets? And it says, yes, it does. So I don't know how that works. They say it's innovative wedge design means 6 women can go to the toilet at once in a big circle. Shall we go and have a look? Would you want to use one of these, girls? What do you reckon, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like it's going to sort of turn around. It could, like the wheel. You know, Michael McIntyre appears at the end of you having a wee and gives you a prize. It says it's hands-free. It's designed like a boat to minimise splashback and also have a little place for your clothing in front. It's private from the waist down. And so it's not private from the waist up. What, you see other people while you're sitting there? Oh, no, dear. No, you can't have any. Girls, would you be happy weeing in something like that? Fran says definitely no. I can't see that catching on somehow, can you? Awful. You know, in London, parts of London, Westminster, I think it is, they have men's toilets. That like this thing in the middle of the literally in the middle of the pavement. Of course, when a man is standing facing it, you can't see them. But nevertheless, it's all out in the open. I'm sorry, dear. No. This is England, dear. We are civilised people here. There are some countries where they poo next to the road. Oh. I mean, if you're desperate, okay, but as like a normal thing, no, dear. No. I know someone that poos in the back of a van. Yes. Carries carrier bags in there. Just in case he wants to go. No names will... my mouth. Now, no, it's not me. Shania says, I'm back in the number 2 position now. Oh, this has nothing to do with toilets, incidentally, here. We're talking about the Rosary group that Shania's a member of. She's back in the number 2 position now. Can never be late to church. No. Absolutely. In fact, I'm church tomorrow. My mate's mum's funeral is tomorrow, which I'm going to tomorrow there. All right. Any more texts? 07451 287 337. Oh, I know. Do keys wear out or locks? One of the fellas will know this, I expect. I tell you why. One of my keys. Okay, so I've got this gate on my front door. Now, I've now had 2 new ones made, so I think the case is they do actually wear out. Last year, you may remember, I had a key snap in the lock, literally. Terrible. I thought, oh, you're joking. But it had snapped with the door open, so at least I was able to get in and out. Had it snapped with the door closed, I don't know what I would have done. But funnily enough, I discovered that if I closed the door and pushed the handle up, the key popped out. The bit of the key popped back out. So I was very lucky with that. But the other one, it became really difficult to go in that way. But I found if I got the key and put it round the other side, I could undo it like that. Just the keys wear out, or locks, do they actually wear out after a while? Because I remember being in, when we was in our flat in Roehampton, I don't remember a key ever not working. Funny, isn't it, really? Rachel says, I wouldn't use those toilets, but if I'm been cut short in the woods for a wee, then it will be behind a tree. Oh, it's happened to all of us, Rachel. Don't worry. No, nothing to be embarrassed about. Nothing to be embarrassed about, my love. We are all adults on this programme, and we could talk about adult things if you want to, that is. She's already got a permanent poo bag, haven't you, my love? Like Dom on Holby. Oh, it's Holby tonight, isn't it? Holby tonight. I must rush down. I've got that to watch. There are 2 things. I've now finished watching an excellent series. 6 episodes, The Pact, P-A-C-T. It's about these 5 girls who work in a factory. Really good. BBC iPlayer. Maureen, you will like that. The Pact. Okay. And also, I've watched 2 episodes. I probably watch the other episode tonight after Holby City. And that is... oh, Christ, what's it called? Is it Inside? It's about this bloke who's in prison. Time. That's it, Time. T-I-M-E. Okay. And the bloke goes in prison. It's the first time he's been in prison. It's the same bloke who plays Mr. W, Mr. In Snowpiercer. Mr. Wingrave. Oh, what's the name in hang on, Snowpiercer? Snowpiercer, main man. Mr. Wilfred. It's the same bloke who plays Mr. Wilfred in Snowpiercer. He goes to a prison, and it's his first time in prison, and it tells you what goes on in it. It's a real eye-opener, I suppose. You know, is that how prisons are? I would imagine they are. You know, they're quite good at writing these things and doing bits and pieces. All right, so that's The Pact and the... Oh, I've forgotten again. Was it? The Pact and Time, both available now on the BBC iPlayer. Okay, one final message then from Vera, who says, no, I don't think keys wear out. Well, I don't know if it's the key or the lock, to be honest. But I took my mate's key into the key place. I had to go to 3 places before I found the right key. Eventually I went to Timpson's and they were able to cut 2 keys for £18. Is that all right? Got to pay it, and yeah. Anyway, that's it for the show tonight. Thanks very much for joining us again. Our next chat show is on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry we had the internet connection problems earlier. Nothing to do with me. Not a lot I can do about that when it happens other than try out a few different things. But it seems to have stabilised in the last sort of hour and a half. So we got there in the end. Thanks ever so much for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for your kind comments and text messages there. 1 second. Text messages there. Don't forget, no radio show from me tomorrow. That will be back on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. I don't know who's sitting in for me tomorrow, if indeed anyone is. I don't think anyone was doing it the last time I went there. And another chat show for you on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching and listening. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. Good night now.